All right, unmute, unmute, unmute. All right, I think we are live. Let's do a little check. Test on Facebook. Make sure we're live on there. Okay. And we got money. So.
Sure we got money or not there, buddy. We'll find out right now.
I didn't know you do live on YouTube.
Yeah, we got technology, man. Me and Jake have been.
Cool.
Yeah, we're good.
It's taken us a lot to get here, but we're here.
Yeah.
So.
About 47 shows with audio errors, late starts, random reschedules, technology problems, buffering. But you know what? We're getting there.
We're getting there. All right, welcome everyone to the Boats and Shows podcast. This is our weekly Thursday night show. We have two special guests, two skinny guys over there.
Yep.
Chris Griner from Detail Specialties, obviously the infamous River Dave. Thought we'd get these guys on, talk a little bit about. They might have to cuddle a little more though. There's I can see the floor between them, but I can't see both their faces. So
we'll check that right now.
Thought we'd talk tonight a little bit about Lake Havasu Boat Show coming up, how the response for both Detailed Specialties and River Dave's was, and also let's talk about Desert Storm a little bit. I want to hear the itinerary for Desert Storm, because I guess we just found out that we're going to be on the River Dave plan for the weekend, is what we're told. The River Dave schedule, or I can't remember how he worded it, but
yeah, we do have to cuddle a little more there.
Yeah, we do.
Hold on.
How does that work? Do we need
here, buddy? I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. So, Reader's Digest version to talk about the boat show. That was Chris's first boat show, right?
Yep.
What did you think?
It was a pretty good turnout. A lot of people on Saturday. Sunday wasn't as busy, but probably had over 1,000.
Go this way, just a hair.
Probably had over 1,000 people come through the booth on Saturday. Met a lot of people that me and Randy both talked to on social media that we haven't met in person. Got to give out a lot of information on what ceramic is and what we offer other than ceramic, and everybody loved it.
So that, I will tell you, that boat show has been going on for, I think that's like the 29th one or something. 28th one, and we've been doing it. I couldn't even tell you how long we've been doing it, but 6, 7, however many years, right? And I told Bob Brown, I says, the boat show turned a corner, man. That was legit. That was usually the Los Angeles Boat Show back in the day was the boat show. And the Los Angeles Boat Show this year was great too. I'm not taking anything away from it, but the Havasu Boat Show is always kind of a smaller boat show in terms of crowd attendance and things like that. And this year, man, it blew up. It was not like any of the years I'd ever been in the past. Without giving out numbers, I can tell you that we did about a 40% gain over last year's sales just in apparel. And we're like carnies, man. Like we hustle pretty hard at the freaking boat shows, so we always kill it. But to do the numbers that we did at that boat show, they were akin to Desert Storm numbers like 2 years ago. The place was packed almost all day, and all the vendors were smiling. I mean, it's like I told Bob, man, the thing turned a corner. So I don't know what else to say other than like everybody that was there this year was for sure, there was no complaints. And, I talked to Chris from Lavycraft. He didn't exhibit this year. And he was like, dude, we kind of missed the boat on that. And I said, Chris, honestly, from years past, it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. I says, but this year, honestly, you should have been here. So it was a really, really good boat show.
How many exhibitors for those that didn't go, you think were out there?
I know they have over 250. I'm remembering that from one of the flyers, but honestly, I think they stacked a couple more in there at the end. The thing was packed. And if it goes that direction, they've tried in the past to stick a couple exhibitors over by the launch ramp in kind of the no man's land parking lot, and it never works out. But if they keep going where they're going, I can guarantee you in the next 2 or 3 years that launch ramp parking lot's going to be full too, and they'll be running shuttles back and forth, you know?
Yeah, because I remember at the, the boat and RV show, the one that we came to a few months ago, they put some people over there, and a lot of people couldn't even see that there was people down there in that area. They kind of had them parked on the sidewalk or kind of like a little circle area. But it's definitely one thing I noticed about that area where Bob does those events is it's a really cool area for people to get together, and it's always beautiful weather there, right next to the lake. It's fun. It's a fun environment. So,
that show, both that show and the Sand and Water Show.
Sand and Water Show.
What's that?
Sand and Water Show. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, both that boat show and the Sand and Water Show have had their blessed years and their cursed years, right? I remember being at that boat show and it was so freezing. I was like, we should have brought sweatshirts. Like we should be selling. I could have sold 10 million sweatshirts, right? I remember being at that show one time and the wind was blowing so damn hard. It was even the guys that had their like canopies tied to the trailers. It was ripping the canopies apart. I remember mine folded up like a taco and ended up in Kingman, but like I said, I remember one year it was so damn hot that my feet were actually, my flip flops were melting into the asphalt, and all the vendors had their coolers wide open with fans on them, and just like, so it's like I said, it's had its blessed years and its horrible years, but this year, like, all the stars aligned, man. It was a good freaking show. So when Stacy did the order for that show, like, me and her, we don't ever fight, but we got in like a debate about it. I was like, Stacy, do we really need like $10,000 with our cost worth of swag for the boat show? I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, well, I want to reorder for Desert Storm. And we actually sold out of a lot of stuff. Like, halfway through Saturday, a lot of people were like, oh, I want that. And I was like, we already sold out of it. We brought like 200 plus hats, and I think we left with like 10.
That's crazy.
They were like the oddball, like, that one, so, like.
I think Chris would look good in that one.
She sold like all the bling hats first day. It was crazy, man. So we're pretty stoked on it.
What do you think as far as like, obviously you and Chris both had different style. What was the highlight boat or the highlight machine there for both of you?
Your S?
What do you mean by highlight machine?
What was the one that you were like, damn, like that, like it stole the show?
That's a tough one. There was a lot of good stuff there. Definitely a lot of good stuff.
I will say this, and the guy doesn't advertise with me, but Adrenaline Boats came out, and they brought Josh Nowak's F-26, and that's a bad mamma jamma, dude. Like, it's a really nice freaking boat. And their 28 didn't have a window in it, which I thought that was kind of weird for bringing it to a boat show, but that thing was pretty surreal too. What the hell? There was something else new there that I was pretty impressed with, and I can't remember what the hell it is now. I'm still a little taken back. Like, we've been recovering from the boat show, like it's after Thursday of Desert Storm is how I felt on Sunday from the boat show, which I'm still trying to play catch up. But no, there was some pretty badass stuff there. Advantage is selling Manitous now. That was kind of a big deal. That was kind of their first. They've made small announcements about it, but they're not known as a pontoon dealer, and they're selling more pontoons than they are fiberglass boats now. And God, I don't know. I have to pull up Bob Brown's email to see who the hell was at the boat show now to remember who was the best. But
yeah, Pavati too.
Pavati was sick.
Pavati's a cool boat.
Yeah, I don't think they let anybody in it at the Havasu Boat Show. I went through it in L.A. and that's a pretty unreal boat. Shit, I don't know what else. Just a lot of cool stuff, man.
A lot of pontoons.
Preston had that. You know what? That's what I was forgetting. Preston brought the Magic out. He brought the first 28 Magic out, and I heard nothing but pretty remarkable things. Where everybody's pretty stoked on it. That came by my booth. The boat wasn't 100% done. There are some details that he's cleaning up still, but everybody that went through it was pretty stoked on it. So happy to hear that everybody else liked it. I've been meaning to get my review of it out. I was supposed to get it out before the boat show, but we've been a little sidetracked with some things that we'll talk about in a few minutes. But yeah, the Magic was there. He brought a twin engine trifecta. That was pretty badass.
A Playcraft with a big motor on it.
Playcraft with a big motor. Yeah, dude, there
was a lot of good stuff.
It's like, like there was so much cool shit there. DCB came. They brought, DCB is not known for exhibiting at the Havasu Boat Show. They were there last year, but they actually, I think they've been there a couple years, but they skip a couple years every now and again too. But they came out pretty full force, and they brought some pretty badass stuff. So There was a lot of cool stuff there.
Evan Hobgood just commented. He said Teague's DCB was impressive. So.
Yeah. I wasn't sure that one was there or not. I don't think it's
right behind my booth.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen that because I know it's badass.
Yeah, the gel was ridiculously nice.
Well, I know that I think they rigged that at Teague.
Yeah. That was nice.
Well, that would have been one to see. I didn't see it. Honestly, our booth was so freaking slammed, Jake. I didn't get out of my booth till Sunday, and all my guys are out of town, so I actually had to borrow a guy from another media outlet to do my little videos, and I only got like 8 videos done, and the show was over. And I was like, look, but normally I try to go through and get a little interview in each booth and the stuff that we think's cool, but I got about 8 of them, and that's about it. And they actually just all ended up on YouTube tonight, so I'm gonna start posting those up on social media, but I didn't get to see as much of the show as I wanted to,
Yeah.
But you know what? My bank account's happy for the amount of shirts we sold, so I'm happy for the slam booth all weekend, So.
Yeah. All right. So anything else we want to touch on the Lake Havasu Boat Show? I feel like we'll split this thing directly in half, and then we'll just go into Desert Storm. So.
Well, when I said part of the reason why I'm still trying to catch up is Griner knows this, but Stacy managed to get a branch office for her real estate. And so when you're driving up McCulloch, there's that Lady Dice Flowers, and then there's the Visitor Center, and then it goes over, and that's where the start of Main Street is. Well, that big 45-degree office is now Team RDP. So we'll be opening a retail outlet there where you can actually come in and buy shirts, and you can buy some boat cleaners, and you can buy all sorts of stuff like that, but all the RDP shirts are in there. I was actually going to talk to Justin at Positive Trim about putting his stuff in there as well, and maybe a few other guys. And but yeah, we're going to have a retail storefront now, so when people are like not banging on my garage at 2 o'clock in the morning saying, hey, we want shirts, I'll just be like, dude, you can get them on Sunday on your way out of town. And we have an employee that's manning that, and we have another real estate agent coming on that's going to take some of the days that we're not available. So that's pretty exciting news, but that's one of the reasons why I've been kind of burning the candle at both ends and playing catch up on all this stuff. We're moving furniture in. We're putting, 5 TVs in the place. We're lighting up the windows and all this shit. It's never ending. I'm actually putting a big stereo both inside and outside the office with like 10 clip shades and all this stuff, so that when Desert Storm comes, it's, turn it all the way up and drag people in. Like I said, I'm a carny man. So, but yeah, it's going to be a very, very cool thing. So we're excited about that.
What'll be there for Desert Storm? I mean, will it be open? People can walk in, see it, or?
Yes, it will. So it will be staffed. We'll have 2 people in there helping people with shirts and also the ability to discuss real estate if they want. It'll be stocked with RDP stuff. I don't know that I'll have everything in there yet. That's only 10 days away, and obviously we're setting up a lot of vendors and stuff like that. But so we're going to have that store open, and then my main booth up by Legends that we do every year, that will be in all of its glory like it is every year. We're not moving. I've just spent 8 years building that location up into my location. I'm not moving 5 feet from it. So, and we will have some special surprises this year in the booth. Jason from Boom Bandits built this new thing called the Rocket. It's a 3-story freaking stainless steel DJ tower thing with all these huge speakers. It's going to be there. He says it's badass. I mean, I tend to believe him when it comes to stuff like that. What are you doing for Desert Storm?
Working.
You don't have a booth?
No.
Are you shitting me?
Nope.
Should have got a booth for Randy, man. You'd be ceramic coated out for the rest of the year.
Shit, we're already booked out almost 2 months at the moment.
Are you?
Yeah.
How many of those things did you sell at the boat show?
A lot. Yeah.
Chris, we talked about this a little before we came on. I know he's made the announcement a little bit on social media or talked about it, but Chris, you're just running out of the Islander now.
Yep.
Busier than ever. And what was the change in that? Why did you decide to do that?
Mainly the efficiency of the location. We can wash inside. You're not out in direct sunlight spraying whatever you're spraying on a boat or a car. The floor's got drains in it, so everything can be done inside. It's a super nice facility. I mean, we got $30,000 epoxy floors in there. It's we're in a high class area, and
you got a built-in clientele.
I got a built-in clientele. There's 300 or so storage units back there, all with everything I could ever want to clean. Everybody over there is great. I love just going over there. It's an awesome place to be. So the island is an awesome place to be on.
Yeah.
Coming home every night, all the lights from the city, it's cool. It's not like you're in Havasu when you're over there. So, but the main thing was the efficiency, putting everybody in one area, just building the shop to where stuff can get done quicker and with a better end quality. So.
Well, I know that, when we had you on the show, what was it, 6 months ago, we couldn't really talk about ceramic. Is that your bread and butter now? Is that is that what you're doing the most of?
No, we do. I mean, we do about a boat a day, but I mean, our main thing is we do maintenance washes, we do full details, we do everything. Ceramic is just something we're known for, being we were the first company in Havasu to offer ceramic 5 years ago.
Best company.
So now that we've been known for that, we get contacted about that on a daily basis. And then Randy Cena is who sells that, and he's very good at selling that, and he's very aware of the process and everything else. So he's good at explaining that to people. So we put out a good product. Haven't had anybody with any negative feedback on it. It's been great. Everybody loves the fact that they can wipe their 30-foot boat down in 15, 20 minutes, with virtually no cleaners most of the time. But no,
all the boat cleaner guys are like, right now.
So, but no, it's ceramics is just one of those things we're just known for. It's not what our business is about 100%. So.
Obviously, you use a really high-end brand, IGL, very well-known brand not just in the detailing world, but in kind of the motorsports world in general. A lot of people know about IGL and the reputation they carry, and then obviously that you carry through with them. So,
and IGL is one of very few manufacturers that make their own product that's not relabeled. So I can contact the chemist at any given time of the day and find out why something is working the way it is, or if we want to improve something. Which we have before. We're, working on stuff with sealing gator step and stuff like that at the moment. So, which there's nothing on the market for that.
Super cool.
Just a lot of different things. So, but we're heavily involved in the IGL community. That's for sure.
It's very cool.
Been with them 5 years. Used a little bit of another company. Went back to IGL and just going to keep using it. It's been great success with us. Everybody loves it. And,
there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Can I announce what you're doing with your other location yet?
So our other location, thank you. Not announced yet, but me and a silent partner at the moment will be opening a used side-by-side dealership at the moment, more or less power sports, but mainly geared towards side-by-sides. We're working on, flooring and all that stuff at the moment, and a huge parts list. I've been buying parts left and right to keep on the shelf to build cars and fix cars and stuff like that. It's not going to be our main business, but it's something I enjoy doing. But that's what we're going to be doing. So
he's going to sell a shit ton of side-by-sides, long story short. This guy is always buying and selling stuff anyways.
Yeah.
Might as well do it on a real deal level, right?
Yeah, except for it's all legal.
It's legal before?
Right.
You can buy and sell onesie-twosies.
No, I agree.
It's just if you're going to do more than, I think, 10 a year, you got to get a license.
Spiders flying around in here?
Spiders are flying.
Legs?
No, the door's open.
So no, we'll have banks and stuff like that to finance on whatever cars we have in stock. But just going to be another addition to what we already do. Should be fun. I mean, we'll probably offer boats, whatever, anything we can buy and turn to a customer. And
so if I wanted to take my side-by-side down there and sell it, I could call you and you can consign it.
Yep.
So you actually have a dealer's license and all the things that are required to do that.
Right.
Exactly. That's what he meant by legal.
Yep.
So how long till this is going to be up and running? Because I got 2 right now I'm trying to sell. So
technically it is up and running at the moment. Just haven't advertised it because I'm not full into it yet. Got a few more things we got to do to get it 100%, but it is 100% ready to roll.
He's already sold a couple.
Yeah.
And honestly, if mine didn't sell in 2 or 3 days, I was going to roll it down there and be like one of the first ones out on the street. But mine's already gone. So.
Right. But no, it's not going to take away from the detail aspect whatsoever. It's just a little side business that we enjoy doing. So
you're smart. You put Randy on that entire program, dude, and just let him go up there and sell IGL. And
Randy's too old. He's probably listening right now.
That guy's a flipper. Dude. He's a grinder. Well, you find something.
He bought a side by side, never put the damn thing in the dirt.
I know.
Picked up groceries in it.
I don't know. What I use mine for?
Well, if you drive over by Safeway, I mean, there's dirt over there. I don't know if you ever drove through that intersection, but
Yeah. Well, right now there's dirt all over Havasu on Lake Havasu Avenue.
yeah.
You actually need legit off-road vehicles to go down there right now. It's bad, dude. Like, I just went down there in my wife's car, and it was like, it's better than the truck, you know what I mean? And much better than like a long travel car.
Yeah, I have to cross over that bridge a lot throughout the day.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So Desert Storm.
Let's get it. Well, I got to read this one just for you, Dave. Grads says, "Hey, RD, I'm sure to your dismay, I'm still alive."
Congratulations on your surgery, Grads. I was wondering if you pulled through or not. I was quite sure that you would, because life wouldn't be the same without a pain in the ass.
All right, Desert Storm. What is the
First storm?
what?
Is this your first Desert Storm?
I came last year.
Okay.
I was a kind of a lurker last year, trying to decide if I wanted to get into the boat side of things. Just kind of walked around and visited with people that I had no idea who they were. But this is like my first Desert Storm, actually being a small part of the community. So I'm excited. Explain to me a little bit what the River Day program is that I'm being told about.
Well, Joel Holmes, I don't know if you know who he is, Wash 11, he used to do this thing called Wash World at Desert Storm. It was the greatest thing ever. I fucking missed it the last year he was doing it. But he used to do this thing, and he put out a flyer ahead of time for all of his friends. And he had a repo business out here, so he had these big dirt yards that were right down, kind of right where all the action was. And all his friends would bring RVs, and they'd have ATC 70 races. But the flyer said, like, Wednesday everybody shows up, drink beers, shots of tequila, pass out. Like 8 a.m. shot of tequila. Or you're a pussy, right? And it would go, and the whole flyer was like that. It was like noon, lunch with tequila, dinner with tequila, and it was or you're a pussy every single time, right? But that's kind of how the RDP program is, except for I don't drink hard alcohol, right? I do the 12-ounce curls, beers mainly, And the old joke is, I'm allergic to hard alcohol because I break out in handcuffs. So on Wednesday, we will go. I don't know if you'll be here in time for that or not, but on Wednesday we go to the welcome party. I have not heard where that's going to be at yet. It's usually either at Vern's shop at West Coast Drives or it's at Horizon Motorsports. For some reason, I'm 90% sure it's at Horizon Motorsports this year. So on Wednesday we'll be down there drinking beers at Preston and checking out all the cool hardware he's got down there. And we do that, and then we come back home, try to get to bed at a reasonable time. That thing just flew by again.
Yeah, same thing.
That's somewhat of a reasonable time, but our day starts pretty freaking early the next day, about 7 a.m. And this is where the first part of your check liver and check sleep lights come on, because we're going to go to bed and figure 1 or 2, and we're up at 7. Since we're actually the first people that ever rented the side streets, so we hold the record for that. So, right? But anyhow, we try to set up a little bit of our side street to block the street off and get cars. I've actually had cars towed off my street in the morning, because when the big boats and shit come in, they get stacked up pretty quick if there's cars parked in the way. So Christina has assured me that they're going to be all gone in the morning and I don't have to sweat it, and we can be part of the little parade up the street. But I'll still be down there way early in the morning investigating that situation. But we'll set up the booth. The street show doesn't technically open until noon, but we are one of the first. Like I said, we got a street, so we're set up and we're actually selling stuff to the security guards and shit. I mean, it's pretty wild. But we'll be selling stuff, 10:30 or 11, and we go till I think the street show ends at 9:30 or 10, and we go till about 10:30. And we'll shut the music down at some point. But yeah, like I said, we're first in, last out, and I try to run that thing for everything it's worth, you know what I mean? So we do that. After Thursday, it'll be pretty freaking tired. I know a lot of guys want to go to the bars and stuff. I'll probably either come home and just pass out or go in my jacuzzi and, chill out and do nothing, right? Friday, the Thursday kicks your ass. It's like 12 hours and you're standing on your feet the whole day. And if you think my voice is, always raspy like this after talking to 4,000 people, you should see what it is. It's But Friday, ever since we started doing this houseboat program, it is again an extremely early morning. we're going to be out of here like 7 because we got to be on that thing and chugging southbound by like 8:30 at the latest, so we can get all the way down to what our normal viewing spots are, which, one year it was kind of over by the pump station. 1 year it's over here. This year is actually at Three Dunes. So Old School Boat said he wanted to have his Old School Boat party down there at Three Dunes. And, he's friends with a lot of my friends, and I was like, I don't want to split the group, so I just said, fuck it, everybody go to the Three Dunes, right? And so he's got a taco guy coming, I guess. I don't know. We're going to be on the houseboat. We have a barbecue, and we're going to have shit tons of food and booze and all that. So I'm not relying on this taco guy, but we'll be down there, and if there's room for us, we'll beach it in Three Dunes. If there's not, just to be a prick, I want to fucking anchor that thing sideways. All my banners hanging right at Joe. I'm joking, Joe. I'm joking. But we'll anchor it out there and watch the boats fly by, and then we'll hang out for kind of, some amount of the day, and probably 1 or 2 in the afternoon. It takes hours in a houseboat to go anywhere.
Yeah.
We'll cruise the lake until sunset, you know what I mean? Friday night, Christina actually wanted me to mention this. I talked to her the other day. Friday night, they are going to be at Kokomo's partying. I have a kind of a decent-sized crew that is going to be around us. So I don't know if, I always feel weird about going to people's house parties with, a big group of people. So I might either go to the Kokomo's thing, or we might do something here at my house. I don't know. It's also Steve Braley's. Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not. It's a surprise party. But there's a party Friday. Might have just fucked that up. And anyhow, I was going to try to get over there to say hi and bring him some stuff for a present or something, Saturday, Friday night, it's going to be a late night, dude. We party on Friday night. Hard. Saturday night, once again, you're going to get your 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and then we're right back into that friggin' houseboat at like 8 a.m. because it's big, and we got to get to the shootout early so we can anchor and try to get a decent spot. And if we try to, last year we showed up an hour late, and we were still early on, but just maneuvering that thing through the crowd is like, holy shit, you know what I mean? I hire a boat captain for that, by the way, too. I could drive the thing, but these guys, they do it for a living. And it's pretty amazing to watch that guy do that. Like, he's on the throttles full reverse, and you can't even tell in the houseboat, you know what I mean? And like a minute later, the thing finally starts moving. But yeah, we'll watch the shootout up above and do all that. And then shootout ends at like 2. We'll either go cruise around on the houseboat, or we'll go back to port and go to the Nautical and get drinks. There's always drinks, right? Don't forget that. But then Saturday night, the guys at Boom Bandits will be setting up either Friday or all Saturday while we're out on the houseboat partying. Sorry, Jason. And we will convert Legends, the bar, into RDP 2020, 2019, whatever it is, nightclub, right? And, the first time I did it at Legends, everyone was like, you're not going to be able to do that. Well, I was like, dude, you haven't seen Jason, where Jason will turn anything into a nightclub. He can turn your into a nightclub. And he does it, and it'll have the strobe lights and all the same shit, and the lasers and the smoke and the more sound than we're ever allowed to use. And so Saturday night's the after party. And I do want to bring that up for the RDPers watching. Every year, we give tickets out at the booth, and I can't stress that enough, dude. Come to the booth and get your wristbands for it. I can't be the door guy, man. I can't just sit there and be like, yeah, I know this guy. No, I don't know this guy. It's really difficult, and the security guards don't know any of you, and they don't care. As a matter of fact, one of the sponsors last year was Aaron and Cheryl from Absolute. They sponsored the damn thing. They didn't have their wristbands. The security wouldn't let them in. And it got kind of weird. I heard about it, and I went out there and straightened it out, but they were kind of hot about it, dude. And I was like, Aaron, I'm dropping your wristbands and all your stuff off to your shop ahead of time. So we're not again, But on that same note, for the after party, for anybody that's watching that may or may not want to sponsor it, we charge $1,000 to sponsor the after party, and we charge $1,500 to sponsor the after party in the houseboat. Chris did both. The $1,000 for the after party, what it does is it helps offset the cost. Renting an entire bar isn't cheap, obviously. Buying everybody in the world free beer isn't cheap, obviously. And then it used to be full open bar for everybody, and that got a little out of hand. At the Chagru's banquet room, we're going through 16, 20, 30 cases of vodka a night. it got so bad that a couple of years we cleaned out Chagrew's, Javelina, and one of their other restaurants. It was the most booze they've ever poured in one night. That was like a big thing for them. They're like, Dave, and they actually called me one time and were like, we know we said open bar, but we're going to like tax you for another like $6,000 or something else. Because I tell them, I said, don't shut the party off to whatever it is. After the fact, I'll pay it if I have to, but dealing with Chewy over at Legends has been pretty remarkable, and he's got it down to a science, and it brought my costs way down to get the open bar to the sponsors and their guests, and then I give all the RDP members free beer. That's our way of saying thank you to everybody for being part of our boating community and participating in it. And I think that's a big deal, dude. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. All these guys, they're like, Dave, you created all this, and I was trying to tell everybody, it's not just me, man. Like, there was a whole bunch of people that created this. It's not just River Dave. It's called River Dave's Place, but without the members, River Dave's Place ain't shit. So this is my big thank you. And people like Ahmed and Melissa Daytona Babe, the people that helped me moderate the forum, big content contributors, which there's too many of those to list off. That's what makes River Dave's Place what it is. It's the members, and I just try to keep people from like getting too ridiculous on each other. And then also, if somebody's being a pain in the ass, we can deal with that the ways that we deal with it, So that's about it for our Desert Storm program for me anyways. Obviously, there's a shit ton of stuff that goes on behind the scenes with that. I got 3 photographers coming out, 2 videographers, a turbine helicopter. I got fucking sticker guys, sticker in helicopter, sticker in trailer, sticker in, Mike's MTI 42, Roy's 28 skater on the flat deck. We got a 29 hour limits this year that's going in the booth, and they're actually running like RDP C deck on the fenders and shit. It's pretty cool. But yeah, to make the whole program happen, Jason at Boom Bandits is a huge part of it. The list of people that I help or are on staff is 30 to 45 people long. And so the phone, once it starts, it never stops. But that's, it's a huge undertaking to do Desert Storm what we do. And our budget every year is between, it used to be, I remember when I was smaller, it was like 15 or 20 grand. Now it's like 30 to 40 grand that we nut out. And when everybody stops by the booths to get their T-shirts, that's kind of what pays us back.
Yeah.
So make sure you buy your T-shirts.
Throw that little plug in there.
Yeah, buy your goddamn T-shirts. I ain't giving you wristbands this year. I was joking, but
I think a lot of people. One thing I noticed too is I think a lot of people think Desert Storm, this big party, but that really what you're talking about, doing the houseboat for the shootout, doing the houseboat for the poker run. I think that really just goes back to like your roots with boating, like. Hey, we're going to go on the lake, we're going to chill on the houseboat in a safe environment, and we're going to watch this badass event. After we partied all day the day before, and we're going to party tonight too, but we got to make sure that during the daytime we're still, watching all the boating stuff. So
I think your wife just fired up downloading some pictures or something because your internet just slowed way down.
I'm by myself. Everyone's gone.
Man, it hiccuped for a second. I'll tell you that houseboat program, like shit too. And a couple other guys, they went on it with me, and they're like, that's the way you do Desert Storm, right? Because you don't have to do shit. There's barbecues going the whole time. And like, would you like a jalapeno popper? Oh, do you want, scrambled eggs for breakfast? We're on the water heading down eating breakfast and stuff. But I had a couple of my friends that were like, Dave, I'm going to get a houseboat. I was like, go ahead. I'll go party on yours. And they saw the cost of that thing, and they were like, Jesus Christ. To give you an idea, I had Stacy's assistant drop a check off today for $7,200, and that's not even the 85-foot one. Somebody rented that one this year. That's the 75-foot one, and I'm already $1,500 in on the deposit. So you'll go back for like weeks. So to front that thing's about $9,000 for 4 days. And it's like Jesus, not including the $3,000 in booze that we buy, the $2,000 in food and all that shit. It's a program, dude. But Gary Mills, luckily, Mills Motorsports, those guys, they're renting all the rooms in the houseboat, so that offsets quite a bit of it. And then, the sponsors help offset quite a bit of it too. So
Ben Davey wants to know if David Stone will be there.
He sent in a very long message to me that they had a booth there and all this shit, and I looked at the exhibit list and I didn't see a booth, so I don't know that he will or will not be there. But I will say the one thing that guy, and I want to be a little loose here, that guy always says, Havasu and its mechanics are all an incestuous program, is what he says. He always likes to use that word, incestuous. And, I'd say incestuous has a negative connotation to it, but look at this, right? Chris is here tonight, dude. We're all friends. It's a small town. AJ Barrett's a friend of mine. Aaron Fluent's a friend of mine. Market Savage and his son Jesse. If I see him in a bar, we buy each other beers. This is a small town. And so on some level, yeah, we are all family, man. That's not a negative thing. Just because it didn't work out for him doesn't mean it's like a bad thing, Chris is a friend of mine, and everybody helps everybody in this town. So, fuck your incestuous, Dave. That's my message to Dave. In short, though, I don't have a problem with Dave, but I don't think he's coming to Desert Storm. Last I heard, he's going to Tech Pop.
Is Tech Pop the same weekend?
It's the weekend after, and he's taking his boat, so to get all the fuck out there, it's a long drive. But I've always wanted to go to Tech Pop. I've never been. Everybody says it's the shit, though. John Caparello and all those guys. It's 200 miles of boating in like 2 days, and it's all like little swamp rivers and shit. It's really cool. Like somebody told me it's like 200 bars in this little, I don't know, whatever. It's pretty cool. It's like Lake of the Ozarks, kind of, but without the big lake.
Somebody said David's seats aren't even done.
You don't need seats. I wish him the best of luck. Like I said, I don't have a problem with the guy. He's got some issues with me, but I don't like this shit.
He was a good customer of mine.
Was he? Yeah. He'd be the only fucking one.
He was a good dude. I can't say anything about.
So what else? Are you looking forward to Desert Storm?
We're excited. Coming out, I'll be out. Well, now that I'm hearing this, I'm gonna try to cruise Wednesday after work. We're bringing the toy hauler. We're staying at Dave's house or staying in a parking lot at Walmart or wherever. But just so we have a little home base. But I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of. Last year I need to rephrase that. You asked if I came to Desert Storm last year. I went to the street party, got up and saw the poker run, and then I had to jet back for an RV show that we had going on last year. So I'll actually get to see the full poker run this year and the full shootout and kind of experience everything you guys are going to do, as well as I'm excited to meet some of the people that watch the show and do some shows from the street party. So
to me, the big things at Desert Storm is the street party and meeting all the people at the street party and saying hello to everybody. The poker run is cool, but I always like the raft up or what we're doing this year with the beach just to go see everybody and say hi. Saturday, the shootout, it's cool for us to watch because we can actually see it because we're up on a boat. But generally speaking, like it's kind of hard to see if you're in a boat. So and most people don't have like the marine radios to actually know like what the boats are actually doing and shit. So it's kind of just a big excuse to party for a lot of people. But the after party Saturday night, if you've never been to one of my big parties, Jake, you will come home going, holy fucking shit. That will be the deal. That is my favorite part of Desert Storm every year is the after party. I meet new people. I see so many old people. It's just a fun party, dude. So
I asked my wife yesterday. I was like, "You ready for this? Like, are you prepared for this?"
Oh, she'll be fine. Most people don't even realize. Like, I've never had a problem at one of my. It's such a good vibe. I've never had a problem at one of my parties. Never had a fight. Never had any issue. But we always do have 4 or 5 very large security guards. They're actually paid security. They're bouncers from all over the bars out here, and you can't tell who they are. They're all just wearing River Days Place shirts. But guess what? Half the bars wearing River Days Place shirts, right? Don't tell because they got the little thing in their ear, though. If you look closely, you'll see who they are.
I'm going to wear one of those things in my ear, like the Apple AirPod, just so people think I'm security.
Exactly right.
So
there you go. I think Chris has been kicking ass with Desert Storm this year. I guess she sold out the whole freaking street fair by like February.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive, By the way, Christina, if you're watching this, you need to update your participant list. Somebody posted on my website today that there was only 20 people going in the poker run. I was like, no, there's got to be more than that. If not, we'll throw the helmet in it with Chris. No, I think they're going to have 200-plus boats this year.
Yeah. One thing you brought up the other night, the economy is definitely back with the boat show. Obviously, Desert Storm should be a crazy time. The economy is back. It's bumping. So. Yeah,
I mean, it really is. Even at the boat show, I was talking to Mike Stratford from Extreme, and he was telling me he's across the booth from his booth was across from these people that have these like they're kind of like springy little handle things. So if you have a drink, it's got a loop and a handle. And I don't know if you've ever seen those. He said they sold like $6,000 of those things. It was some crazy number, right? And I was like, the economy's back. People are buying worthless shit for way too much money. Like, I couldn't even figure out what the purpose of the thing was. And they sold like some crazy number. So, and Riley from Naughty Shine, man, he came out and he said he basically went home empty.
Yeah.
He brought like, I don't know however many cases, but he said he blown out. And I was like, well, I got like 3 more bottles that you left at my booth if you want to sell those, but he went home empty. He was beyond stoked.
We were playing with this stuff all week this week.
Well, you like it?
Yeah, it works good. Yeah, I like it.
See that? Product endorsement for Chris.
There you go. And he's got a Naughty Grime coming out this week too, so I'm sure that he'll have that one at Desert Storm. So.
For years, yeah. So, is that about it, buddy?
That's all I got. Thank you guys for getting together with me tonight. It's nice to have Chris grace us with his presence.
I was on the phone with him. I was like, dude, Chris, over to the house. I'm late. I was like, fire up the computer. If it has to go live, I'll be there in a minute, But that's an example, right? Like, everybody's friends out here, dude. Like, it's a small town. They like to have fun.
Well, this is a good chance for me to put Chris back on the spot that we still need to get together and do a few shows, too. So.
Yeah. Well, he broke news tonight for you on his new side-by-side dealership.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Got to hang that one back a little bit, but you see how you put him on the spot publicly. What are you going to do,
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Well, very cool. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for everyone watching. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I guess we'll see you at Desert Storm. So.
See you at Desert Storm. We're going to do some live broadcasts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So.
From the boat show, or from the street fair, and probably a few from late night parties, too, I hope.
You know it.
All right, buddy.